Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today I didn't really plan to do this video, but after kind of reading Twitter this morning and watching a few YouTube videos on Marvel's Avengers, I felt that it was kind of necessary to talk about this. So to break it down for anyone who doesn't follow Avengers on Twitter, isn't in their Discord, doesn't watch their live streams on Twitch, the developers of the game last night had a live stream. In that live stream was very little. That's not new for the live streams. They're very superficial by nature. Generally, it doesn't really matter because they show off a few cool things, or they suggest or imply a few things, and people kind of take that and go, "Okay, we believe you. We're okay with that." We understand unless we're kind of told ahead of time that it's not going to be something that's huge in these live streams. The issue was that this live stream, they came out and addressed a bug regarding the Red Room, which you guys will probably have seen from my last video. And what they said was, their statement was, we aren't going to be able to get this fixed in a timely fashion, and we're also not extending the event. The first part of that sentence makes sense, right? We all know that developers take a lot of time to make stuff, to put stuff together. That's the way development works. The fact that they have not said, okay, we will extend this event until it is fixed, until you've had enough time to play it, is shocking. Absolutely shocking. It's the most out of touch thing the Avengers team has done yet, in my opinion. It's essentially saying to a number of people, you're not getting these rewards, sorry about it. Instead of like the fix that they could actually make, which is to say, sorry guys, we know that this isn't getting fixed anytime soon. We will make this event longer to make sure everyone gets it. Or if they can't fix it in a timely fashion and they do want to end the event at the same time because of some kind of weird spaghetti code or something like that, why not gift all these players who have not been able to complete it the rewards? I'm sure it would take a bit of work, but you could go through and very easily find out who finished the quests that they have in their assignments and those who didn't. It's not rocket science. Yes, obviously in an ideal world everyone should be able to play the content, but if they can't play the content, if there's for some reason that you can't play the content, you should be giving the rewards. Why should these people be behind just because they can't play it? This wasn't them being idle, this wasn't them not wanting to play it, this was them trying to play it and not being able to. And it kind of spawned a lot of other smaller things as well. For example, the champion system, which I discussed briefly in my last video as well, has been found by people in the community, like Tony Bing, for example, to be different to what it looks like on face value. Essentially, certain stats don't add up quite as expected. Percentages aren't necessarily as strong as are suggested. In fact, it feels like some of these traits, some of these champion points, are going to be complete wastes unless you've finished all of the decent ones. So that's really annoying, to be honest. It means that the champion system, opposite to what I said last video, is essentially trash. Because it means that you're not developing, you're not getting stronger. It's a staying tactic, right? It's a false progression. So for example, I believe on Twitter today I saw that adding extra willpower only gives you like 200 extra health overall, even though the percentage is meant to be like something like 20 or something like that. Obviously, I'm not pulling directly from the game right now, so anything I'm saying is kind of conjecture, hypothetical. And by the way, the devs have told us that it's working as intended. But what that says to me is that it's deceptive. It's 100% a deceptive system. It is placed in the game as a way to create false progress until they're ready to release something else. And that just feels grubby and wrong and kind of really, like I say, deceptive from the devs. If it was a flat increase or a small increase, that should have just been what was said. We could at least have just then said, that's trash, why did you do that? Instead of, why did you not tell us that this is the way it works? It denotes a shift in how the game is being managed, right? I feel like after Kate Bishop into Hawkeye, we were doing well. We were getting cosmetics, we were getting content, we were getting a little bit of everything. Everything felt good. The Tachyon Anomaly event was really well received. People were sort of lukewarm on the Ruskaya event, as far as I saw. But generally speaking, they weren't bad. They weren't things to turn your nose up at. And then the Red Room hits, and it feels as if the content is progressively getting less and less thoughtful, less and less interesting, less and less of quality. And this goes into another point, one that a lot of people are expressing right now, is that Crystal Dynamics, Marvel's Avengers, is focused solely on selling skins to us at this point. From what you can perceive from them, that's kind of true. Their marketplace is usually the biggest part of their blog at the moment. Their Twitter is flooded with sales of skins and sales of cosmetics and hey, this new skin's releasing next week, and there's very little about content that is coming to the game. Cosmic Cube is coming in a few weeks, probably. I'm guessing sort of the middle of June, the third week of June, something like that. And we know nothing about it apart from it's called Cosmic Cube and it's to do with Monica. The fact that they can't even release some narrative information, you know, I'm not expecting them to show a full-blown version of the fight right now. I get that that could still be very much in the works. But the fact that they can't show a narrative, the fact that they can't hint at what's next, indicates that they either aren't wanting to or that they're being held back from doing it, which only suggests to me that they're actually doing worse than we even can perceive on the surface. If they're not being allowed to show content that's a month away, how bugged is that content? How superficial is that content? And that's the worry, right? Are we declining now? Because as you guys will remember, I wasn't even a fan of the last story update with Future Imperfect. So I don't think that we're going to go up from there at the moment. I don't feel like it's going to get better content. For a while now, I feel like we've not had anything of quality, especially narratively, especially gameplay-wise as well, content-wise. Like, these events have not really added content. They've kind of adapted old content. Tachyon Anomaly was adding multiple heroes into the same match. Ruskaya added some quests that you could do passively. And Red Room Takeover is a new harm room, essentially. Yes, there were some texture upgrades for Red Room, and there was some kind of changes there that were kind of cool, you know, the room layouts and stuff. But ultimately, it's nothing groundbreaking. And I want them to realize that. I want them to make this game phenomenal. Every day when I log into the game, I want more stuff added. I want to not look at the map and think, ugh, I have to do that quest again, I have to do this again. Because within a few months, I can see this game having little to no players left if that's how it continues on. And this is obviously very much an opinion piece, but I did want to come out and say this because whilst I am a smaller creator, I feel like the more voices that draw attention to what Crystal Dynamics and Avengers are doing right now, the more people who talk about it, the more likely we are to get a positive response, the more likely that someone will look and say, we need to do more. And if we don't press them, if we leave this, the game will more rapidly rot, decay, and eventually die. We've seen it with numerous games before where there has been a lax culture that has developed around the game and its development, and it has since declined and disappeared. And that's the worry. I want you guys to know that I'm still going to cover Marvel's Avengers. I'm still going to look at the game with as much of a positive lens as I can. But I also want you guys to know that this is seemingly a turning point for the game, and one that if they're not careful, they will not come back from. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one.